Hello Captains, this is the Doctor, and today we've got another video for Star Trek Online, and I'm going to show you all the rewards that you get during or after you finish the first contact event. Remember, you needed 4 holograms to be able to finish the actual event, and then it gives you certain rewards. Well, I have achieved that 4th hologram. So I am now able to get all of my rewards for this event, and I'm going to check them out and show you guys what they're all about. Note, I have already done this on another character before recording this video because I just wanted to play around with them. So I already have seen them, but for this video it will show you guys what all that looks like and what it's all about and how you equip it and so forth. So here we go. This is my last hologram that I got on this character. This is my main character, the Doctor. And I'm just going to go to the reputation, events, and here's the collect Zephram Cochrane Memorial holograms. As you can see, 3 of 4. So let's add the final one. Now remember, before we do this real quick, what we're going to get, or what we should get, is the completion of the event naturally. We'll get a Captain Specialization Point. We're going to get a Holo-Emitter for our shuttle, not our starship. Unfortunately, I wish this hologram actually worked on our starship, but it's going to work on just shuttles. And then also launch a toy rocket. This is a ground thing. And then we're going to get a new starship mastery called Theta Radiation. And we'll take a look at that. And we're going to get 100 event reputation, whatever that is. Here we go. Bam. There it is. Collect reward, and I'll leave this up so you can see it fly by here.
Congratulations, Admiral.
There you go. Holo-Emitter, launch toy rocket, mastery, specialization point, and as you saw, we leveled up. Which basically means once you're at level 60, that basically means another specialization point. So first thing I can do is go to my skills and use that specialization point. So let's go. I'm working on strategist right now. I've got a lot of these unlocked, but right now I'm going through not strategist, excuse me. I'm going through on this character. I'm doing the temporal operative. So I will just go, and I'm on tier 4 of that. So 1 specialization point done. That's simple, that's easy. I love that. I like getting those specialization points because it's my goal to have every specialization unlocked on all my characters. And on this one, let's see, I think I'm full on command, full on intelligence, full on pilot, full on commando. Now I'm working on temporal operative, and then I'll do strategist. So that specialization point definitely helps a lot. So that's the first part of our winnings. Now the hologram, if we go to our inventory, here's everything right here. This is the Holo-Emitter Phoenix shuttle. This device will mask your ship's appearance with a holographic overlay. Ship holo-emitters will remain active during combat, unlike personal holo-emitters. So even during combat in your shuttle, it'll still look like the Phoenix. But it only works on shuttles. Then you have launch a toy rocket. This is going to be a ground thing. The toy rocket can be launched up into the air just as it was during the first contact day event. You need to have it in your inventory and put an icon in your hotbar on the ground for that to work. The Holo-Emitter, same thing. It's got to be in your inventory, and then you put a button on your hotbar in space and it'll work. And then we come to the Starship Mastery Unlock, Theta Radiation. When activating evasive maneuvers, a sudden infusion of theta radiation to the throttle drive causes an exhaust blast that deals heavy shield damage and leaves a damage over time debuff on anything hit by the exhaust. Use that, and now we have the trait. We'll just have to go equip it, but we have to change maps when you equip it. So I'll go to the ground first, and we'll check out the toy rocket. Then I'll get into my shuttle, and we'll check out the Holo-Emitter, and then I'll switch ships again, and we'll go back and we'll check out the trait. So, or we'll do the Holo-Emitter last. How about that? That's probably a better idea. So, first thing I want to do actually, because if I'm going to be changing out of my ship into my shuttle, just in case, I'm I'm going to save my loadout just so in case it erases all my icons in space and changes everything. So now my loadout is saved under main, so hopefully I won't lose the placement of all my icons. Alright, let's go. Alright, so because I have the toy rocket in my inventory, I just need to make a button for it. P, unlock inventory, and it should be here. Here we go, launch a toy rocket. Let's put an icon for it right there. Now check this out. This apparently works anywhere, even on ESD. So we can stand anywhere, and I'm going to stand like right about here in the middle. So everybody can see it right here on the big Starfleet emblem. Here we go. Bam. There we go. I just launched a rocket inside ESD. And as you can see, it's got a cooldown, but it's a very short cooldown. So have some fun with some rockets. Let me wait again for that to cool down, and we'll fire it off again. Kind of zoom out this time so you can get a good view of it. And here we go. Can't see it. It went sideways. So that's pretty cool. You can launch that anywhere and it'll do its thing. Way down here at the very bottom. Let's launch it down here. Then we'll go up to the top and we'll launch it. We'll just launch it everywhere, won't we? All the way through ESD. However that works. You got me, but maybe it would cause a whole breach. Maybe not. Maybe it's a phasing toy rocket. That's what it is. It's a phasing toy rocket. I want to launch it from the top here. Let's watch it go through the window. Why not? Get it right under the window. And away it goes. Couldn't see it, but it went up there. So that is what you got. A little toy rocket, and I assume it can launch anywhere. Let's go down to Starfleet Academy, actually, because I hadn't checked that out. Let's see if we can launch it down there. And I don't know if you can actually launch it during combat. Maybe we'll have to test that too. Let's quickly go down to the Academy here. I actually do want to test it and see if it'll launch in combat, but probably won't. But I'll check it out anyway. Okay, let's launch it from this bridge. And it vanishes into the sky. Got a pretty powerful rocket for being a little toy figure. That's pretty cool. So that's what you got, folks. You got a little toy rocket. Now let's check out the trait on our ship. Naturally, for the trait, you want to go to your traits, space traits. See, which one am I going to remove right now? What do I have? Proto-matter capacitor. Let's remove that real quick. And let's go to our new one. Theta radiation infused blah blah blah. Here's the stats on it. To all enemies in a 5-kilometer cone behind you, 22.3 radiation damage. To all targets hit by blast, 4.3 radiation damage per second for 6 seconds. But those aren't the real numbers. The real numbers we will see in space. Those are the unbuffed raw numbers and stuff. Let's make the trait active. So it's called Theta Radiation Infuse. And now we have it active. So let's go into space. And when we hit evasive maneuvers, this trait should activate every time we hit it. So here's our ship. When I hit evasive maneuvers, it should go. But here's the stats on it, on this character anyway, on my character. It is saying to all enemies in a 5-kilometer cone behind you, it's going to do 1694 radiation damage. And then to all targets hit by blast, 320 radiation damage per second for 6 seconds. So that is the amount of damage that it's actually doing. And here it goes.
Ship is under attack.
That's what it looks like, folks. Yes, my ship now farts. I have a farting ship. Let's let this cool down, and we'll do it again in some different views. We'll do it this time from the front view, so you can see it. We'll just let that cool down. So I'm trying to figure out the usefulness of this. I really am. I mean, I guess it'll hit every time you hit evasive maneuvers, it'll hit. But is that really useful? And then, of course, you hit it once and you still have to wait for it to cool down before you can use it again. Let's just kind of get out of the way, everybody. And here we go. Ooh, that's a pretty big cone. That is a pretty large cone. I wonder how far back it goes, though. I guess 5 kilometers is what it says. Let's do this. Let's do it again. But this time, I'm going to zoom all the way out and kind of do a side view here. And let's see if we can get a good side view on it firing. I do want to take this into combat and check it out, try it out on an enemy, and actually see what the real damage is. So we'll do a little patrol here in a little bit and just kind of fire it off and see what happens on an enemy. I just want to see the kind of damage it does, potentially. And here we go, gonna fire in 3, 2, 1, fire.
Ship is under attack.
So that's pretty cool looking. I mean, it is very cool looking. It's very loud. It's very explosive. Let's do an all the way zoomed out front view, and then maybe we'll do an all the way zoomed out back view of it. I just want to get a good view on it so you guys know what it looks like and can see that. So yeah, the usefulness of it, because once you fire it off, after using it once with your evasive maneuver, you still have to wait for it to cool down before it pops off again, and by that time, I don't know how useful it'll be. Also, I mean, the enemy's got to be right behind you for it to cause a problem. So, I don't know about you guys, but I don't fire from the rear. I'm usually firing from the front or the side, so I'm not sure how useful that'll be initially. I'm gonna play with it a little bit in combat. I just don't think it'll be extremely useful to me particularly, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna fire it off.
Warning. Ship is
So that's an
under
all the
attack.
way zoomed out rear view of it, or front view. Now we'll do an all the way zoomed out rear view of it. And then after this, we'll just go take it into combat real quick, like I said. And what I want to do is get an enemy behind me and then fart on him and see what kind of damage it does. Now, I don't know what will buff that damage. Let's see. I don't think weapon power would buff that damage. No, that would be stupid. Maybe auxiliary power? So my aux power is at 77. Let's raise it to 102. Does that help? Yes, it does. 1714 from 16. So there you go. Aux power will help the radiation. Aux power is your friend if you want to get the most damage out of the Theta radiation thingy.
Ship
Crap.
is under attack.
I was in the wrong position when I fired that off, and I didn't actually mean to hit that. So aux power confirmed to raise the damage output on that. Then there, it's going back down now. But not by a whole lot. Very minor. Very minor. Let's do this. Let's like pretend like we're actually flying in battle or something. and we're gonna like turn, you know, gonna do a evasive maneuver here around something and fire it off. Kind of practice with it here with these lovely people that are gonna be my guinea pigs for today. So here I go. Well, actually, that doesn't work. If I go this way and fire it off, it misses that guy. So really, you got to be at the right angle for this to have any impact.
Ship is under attack.
Like I can get that guy. Huh. And this is what I'm talking about. You're gonna, once it wears off, then you have to wait the whole cooldown period before you can use it again, of course. So it's good for a one-off, but I just don't know how useful that actually is going to end up being. Let's quickly go to a patrol, and like I said, we're going to fire this off on an enemy and just see what the damage is like. See if it does do any significant damage to them. Well, let's just do a quick Japori. We'll just jump over there. Where are you, Japori? And this will just be a good quick little test, and we will see what it does. I haven't done this yet, so this is the first time trying this out. Get straight and hit slip straight. Almost there. I'm not going to buff it. I'm not going to hit the auxiliary power. I'm just going to do it at its regular power level, because who knows what your auxiliary may be. I have no idea. So we'll just go here and we'll just fire it off and see what kind of normal damage it does. I'm guessing anything that buffs radiation, probably a good thing too. I am going to... Oh crap! Shoot! I forgot. See what I did there? I hit my evasive maneuver to get there faster and forgot that's the actual feature that has the trait. So I totally wasted it. Oh, that is funny. That's funny. Habit right there. Because I use evasive maneuver all the time to scoot around without going to full impulse, so that way my power levels stay up. But I forgot the trait was actually attached to it. So can't do that anymore. See, that changes my whole combat style right there. That's a good lesson. This can change your entire combat style if you actually rely on it or something. Oh, they're actually doing some damage to that battleship. Check that out. Don't kill it yet, because I got news for it. Yeah. Well, that was underwhelming, wasn't it? I'm not sure if I got a really good angle on it. I think I was a little sideways. So I'm going to let it cool down and I'm going to try it again. But you saw the little damage it was doing over time. 25, 25, 25. That is so minor. That is so minor. The damage over time is just not worth it. I just want to see what the initial blast actually does. So we need to get a better angle on it, select the enemy, and then fire on it. Hope they don't kill it before I get to it. 3, 2, 1, okay. Well, there you go, guys. You saw as much as I saw there. I lined right up to it the best I could, got it right on my tail, farted on it, and it did some initial damage, but I wouldn't say a lot. And this is a very weak enemy. We're talking about Japori Patrol here. You do something like that on a Borg ship or a big enemy that's got a big hull or shield or whatever, I don't think it's really going to make much of a difference. So this is kind of a weak feature, I think. Kind of a weak feature. I'll try it one more time on a group of enemies. Oh, that did something. Do it one more time, one last time. Try to get these escort in there. Did nothing to it. Did nothing to it that time. The hardest part about this feature is the angle. Trying to get it on all the enemies. So unless they're like right behind you in that 5-kilometer cone, it's real hard to do that actually. Because I don't usually keep the enemy behind me. I stay behind the enemy and keep them in front of me. Okay. Well, I got what I needed out of that. I'm not going to be using this trait. But there you go. That's me showing it off anyway, so you know what it is, what it looks like. Let's do one thing. I did want to actually go. I don't want to waste my warp, or my transwarp, because transwarp, because I want to use it to get back. I want to go to do a ground combat thing and see if you can launch a rocket during combat. I just want to try it out. So really quick, we're going to go over here to the Delta Quadrant. And we're going to go to the Kobali thing. We're going to go down there and we're just going to see if we can launch a rocket while we're in combat. That's all I want to see really there. So that won't take long. And then we'll do the hologram thing. Where's my map? Map work. There we go. No, wrong thing. Make this really quick. We're not going to do any fighting. We're just going to see if this will launch while somebody's firing on us, while we're in red alert state. I like this map for testing out ground equipment. I come here often just to test out ground stuff and see how it works and all that kind of thing. Pretty cool to do because there's always enemies to fight and they keep respawning and there's no consequences because you're not in an actual mission. Alright, let's get into a tiff with these guys.
Enemy targets on sensor.
Oh, you can. Haha. Well, that answered my question. You can definitely launch the rocket during combat. So, takes care of that. Question answered. Okay. Not that that makes any difference or does anything. I was just curious. Curiosity kitty. Let's transport back to Earth and we'll check out the hologram. One last time. Boom!
Ship is under attack.
I'll never use this trait ever again. But anyway, at least I got it, I guess. The more the merrier. Yeah, there's so many better traits if you want it, like improved DPS and stuff like that. So this is really not the one I would use. Let's go to small craft. I don't even know what my small craft is, but we're fixing to find out. I think it's the Aeon shuttle. And where am I? Ooh, yep, it is the Aeon, and that is driving me crazy. What is that? Impulse engine, disable visuals. There we go. Okay, so there's my tiny little Aeon shuttle, right? Time shuttle. Now, I should be able to put an icon, P, on here for the hologram. Holo-Emitter, there we go. Here it goes. Oh, sweet. My Borg stuff. I have Borg stuff on this thing, apparently. Let's disable all the visuals. Shield, deflector doesn't have one. Impulse. Disable, warp. Okay, disable. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're flying the Phoenix. There it is, folks. We are a tiny little Phoenix. Actually, the Phoenix is bigger than my shuttle. Oh crap. I got the trait on the shuttle. So now my Phoenix farts too. Let's get a real close-up view of this. I'm going to stop here and we're going to take a look at it. Zoom in, and that is what she looks like, folks. Pretty cool because it's, after all, based on a rocket. I mean, just a rocket, you know, and he turned it into a ship. So, I mean, this part is, you know, had to be all new. A cockpit that's capable of having life support in space. And the rocket for liftoff, and then the nacelles that pop out of it. And they're very classically designed, like the TOS, you know, kind of Bussard collector things on it. The nacelles themselves, the coils inside, not a whole lot of them, not very big, obviously, creating the warp field. It looks really cool. I mean, I know the thing has no weapons and all that, but I would still, I don't know, I just kind of like the idea of flying it. It's really neat. It's the first Earth's first warp ship, or successful warp ship. You have to wonder, did he have any other experiments that he launched that were unmanned? You know, none of that's explained in the movies. Maybe it is in novels or something, but I wonder if he, you know, tried to launch unmanned experiments of warp drive, you know, before a manned one. So who knows, maybe there were other, you know, pre-manned warp ship probe things sent out to be tested. But this is the first manned spacecraft capable of a warp drive for Earth. So that's pretty unique, you know, it's pretty cool. Yeah, my shuttle is actually smaller than the warp ship. or the warp ship, the Phoenix. So it's got a little bit of a cooldown, but not very much. And the cool thing about this is that it can stay on while you're in combat. So you can use your shuttle in combat and keep the Holo-Emitter on. Now, there's not a whole lot of shuttle missions in this game. Maybe the Vault, and then there's a couple of actual missions where you have to be in a shuttle. There's one in the Cardassian storyline that you have to be in a shuttle. Maybe in those it would be cool to turn on the Phoenix Holo-Emitter and look like the Phoenix, but it really won't, no one else will see it but you, and it really won't affect. It's not like you're going to be able to use this in STFs and stuff like that, because it only works on a shuttle. That's why I almost wish it did work on your regular starship, because it's just an appearance thing. It has nothing to do with all your powers or anything, so you'd still be able to fire all your weapons and everything, but your ship would look like a Phoenix. I don't know. Otherwise, it's really not that useful, because how many times do you really get in a shuttle? Me, never, especially at in-game. I mean, I'm never in a shuttle. I just always stay in my starship, so I think the rewards are slightly weak, and that's how I'm going to end this video. I believe that the first contact day rewards are a little weak. The Theta radiation, whatever, farting thing. Boom.
Ship is under attack.
I don't find this trait to be very useful. I, for one, will not be using it. It is a little difficult to use, to line up, you know, the target, and it just doesn't do a lot of damage. There are better traits to use in your very limited Starship Trait slots that you have that can improve DPS a whole lot more better. There's just a lot better traits out there. So I'll be passing on this trait. At least it's free, though, because with the other Starship traits, naturally you have to have starships that have traits to get those. This trait at least was free. It's just not very useful. Second, the Holo-Emitter itself. Again, not a very useful thing, because how many times are you in a shuttle? And it's just an appearance, which looks cool, but again, how many times are you in a shuttle? You can't look like this while you're in an STF. You can't fly your missions looking like the Phoenix, nothing like that. So it's kind of has a very, very limited usefulness. And third, the ground rocket. While it's fun and cool to launch it off, I can see a lot of people spamming it in a lot of places and making a mess of things. And what'll end up happening is they'll end up having to turn it off on places like ESD, where they've had to disable other powers indoor because people will abuse it. It's happened before, and I can definitely see it happening with this item. It really is cool to see it fly, but it has no purpose either. And the only good thing really that I got out of the first Contact Day event is the first experience of doing the event, having that music play by Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride, awesome song. Seeing that again reminding me of the first Contact movie, so that was pretty cool. And then getting some more Lucari marks that I needed. And then getting the one specialization point. I wish it was 2 specialization points, but I'll take the 1. Those were what I got out of this. A little bit of nostalgia, some Lucari marks, and a specialization point. So, not huge in the reward department. I wish it had something a little more meaningful, but it is what it is, and at least they did something, because they've never done anything like this event in the past, and so that's cool to see at least. Also, the April Fool's Day joke. This is the first time they've ever done an in-game April Fool's Day joke, and it was executed pretty well, the April Fool's Day one. So they did a couple of good things here. I just wish there was a little more depth to the rewards on the first Contact Day event. But tell me what you think about that. Am I right? Am I wrong? Are you happy with the rewards? Are you going to use this Starship Trait? And or do you wish the rewards were maybe a little bit better?
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I'll read them all. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Let's warp out on this thing. Oh, it's not in view.